Facebook world. So my mom asked me to do a video of because she's doing those workout videos, and so she asked me just to do a few of maybe what our favorite moves are, what my favorite workout moves are. So I'm going to do a few of them for you, and then you guys can try them at home. So one of my first things I want to show you is a proper hip thrust. It's my favorite. So I'm going to have Joelle show you because there is a wrong way to do it, and I did not know that. So I'm going to have her lay here for you. Lay sideways. Wait, oops, sorry, man. Here, I'm going to do it closer so they can see. All right. Let's see. All right. So she's going to, nope, turn on your back. Knees up. All right. So we naturally have an arch in our back when we stand and even when we lay down. So when you're going to do a proper hip thrust, right? What you want to do before, thrust your hips up. All the way, as far as you can. Okay, I want you guys to notice something. This is what a lot of people do, is this comes up too, right? When you do a hip thrust this way. So the key is put it back down. You're going to push your belly button to the ground first, and then hip thrust, and your chest should stay down. Then you're working your glutes and your quads, and you can hold it. So we're going to do a little bit of that, but I just wanted to show you the right way. So every time you go down, every time you put your hips down, you're going to push your backbone to the ground, and then you're going to lift just from your butt, keeping your chest down. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, we're going to do it. Do you want to go on your mat? Okay. So I did not have my timer out, but here, we'll do it sideways, Joe. But I'm going to show you. All right, so I don't have my timer out, but we are going to attempt to do 1 minute, and then we are going to do an addition to that. So before you start, remember, don't lift all your chest and everything up. Push that backbone to the ground. Make sure you shouldn't be able to fit a hand underneath your back. It should be fully pressed top to bottom to the ground. Your legs are about shoulder width apart, and then when you hip thrust, you're just going to lift your hips, right? Your chest is going to stay to the ground. So we're going to hold it for a minute. Hold that hip thrust for a minute. Joelle has done this with me before. So we're going to hold that. I'm just gauging a minute in my mind. Sometimes it really starts to hurt, and you should be squeezing your booty quite a bit. Totally getting out of my comfort zone here, so.
I'm gonna get sore.
We both are. Yes, you should be flexing your glutes there. So after we do a minute, you'll time it when you're at home. You can do it with me now, or you can do it on your own. You're going to stay in that position, but you're first going to lift your left leg, extend it straight out, and you're going to hold that for 30 seconds. It's hard. So if you can't do this, and if you need to modify it a little bit, lower your hips and just extend your foot, right? Or you can do hip thrusts as you do it, and that's sometimes a little easier too, giving you a break in between. So you're going to do that for 30 seconds. And then you're going to switch legs, other legs. Make sure you don't get lax on there and you're squeezing your booty there. You're going to hold it up again. If it gets hard, give yourself a little rest and do it again. Make sure to always push your backbone to the ground and lift it up. Right? And the perfect workout for this would be to give yourself a rest after you're done. Give yourself a rest, and then you're going to do it again. We always do ours in groups of 3. So when I'm done with this video, do that again. And then I'm going to show you a couple more that are our favorites that we're going to do as well. So, all right, the next one we're going to do. If this is hard, we're going to do a squat, which I know Mom has done squats, and you can do squats all different kinds of ways. I like to do mine weighted, and you can do those a couple different ways, but don't do too much, right? So a proper squat is you're going to push your heels into the ground, and you're going to squat down, and you can hold it I'm on an incline here. It's kind of sloped down. So you're gonna hold it, but you want it to be like you're sitting in a chair. So again, your heels dig them into the ground and you're gonna sit on your chair, right? If you can go down farther, go down farther. And when you come up, squeeze your butt. So we're gonna do weighted ones. You can do, if you don't have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, whatever they're called, you can do a can of vegetables or something, you know, just push yourself a little bit. So we're gonna do about 12 of these, and that will be our second round. So we did our hip thrusts first. This is our second round, doing weighted squats. So push those heels into the ground, and we're gonna start. Ready? And squeeze when you get to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, another thing that I like to do, and I like to do it with my kettlebell, whatever it's called. Kettlebell. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, so another squat that I like to do that works your arms also is I swing it, right? So you're just gonna lower it and swing it up. Right about shoulder level. You don't wanna go too high, but that's another way to do squats, right? 7, 8. Now, modification for this.
10.
If you can't do weighted, just do a squat and do slow. It's not trying to do it fast. And if you can't do weighted, even the swinging, just do the motion, right? And make sure you're flexing your muscles as you do it, just working them that way, right?
It's like hitting a volleyball.
It's like hitting a volleyball. There you go. You can do volleyball swings, right? And just make sure you're squeezing when you come up and going as far down as you can. If you can't go down very far, it's fine. You work up to that point and that's good too. Okay, my other thing I wanted to show you. So when I'm done with this video, you're gonna do the hip thrusts, then you're gonna do those squats again, and then you're gonna do this third one, and you're gonna do rounds of those, 2 more rounds of those, right? And that's the perfect workout. Giving yourself, you know, 30 seconds to 90 seconds in between each set, right? So the next one I'm gonna show you, I don't have both of my same weights out here, so I'm just gonna use these, but it's my favorite plank. Planks are so important. So you've seen the normal planks. You have your regular elbow plank, right? I don't even know if you guys can see me. Elbow plank. You have your push-up plank, right? So my version is a variation of the push-up plank. So again, modification, if you can't do this, start with your knees. You can cross your feet, but the key with crossing your feet, make sure you don't always cross it the same way, you know, or halfway through switch your feet there. So you can do the push-up plank, try to hold it for a minute. If you can't do what I'm gonna show you, hold it for a minute. If you're a little bit stronger, but you're not gonna be able to do what I'm gonna show you how to do, hold your push-up plank. Or your elbow plank, hold it for a minute. If you can't do that, start out with your knees until you can build up your core a little bit more. So my variation, so I'm doing a little bit harder, is a weighted push-up plank, but there's a modification for this too. So you go in your plank with your weights, and you're gonna have to spread your legs a little bit further apart, and then one at a time, you lift and lift. If it's hard for you to do, modification would be just lifting your hand, right? Shifting that weight on your core, right? And I do about 20 of those. If you can't do that and that's still kind of hard, do a touch toe plank, and that's just where you touch and come back down to plank. And you don't have to go fast, you just go your own pace. So that's your workout for today. We're in the garden, sometimes location makes all the difference. I wanted to do it in the pretty garden. So you're gonna do your hip thrusts, 1 minute, holding that pose. If you can't, just do hip thrusts for 1 minute. Go slow, as many as you can do, up, down for 1 minute. Then lift one leg and do the same thing. Either hold for 30 seconds or do up, down for 30 seconds with one leg lifted. Then you switch and do the second leg. And then you're going to do your squats. Weighted if you can, not weighted if you can't do it. And you're gonna do 12 squats and then give yourself a little rest, 30 seconds to 90 seconds. And then you're going to either plank or plank and lift, right? So I hope that helps you today. Do 2 more rounds of those and you are good to go. Love you guys.
Bye.